welcome to the Deucecast Extra. This is the TV wing of the Deucecast media empire. We're talking about television as often as we can. We occasionally do a movie from time to time on this, but that's more saved for the Deucecast movie show, which is released every single Wednesday. We've been doing that show for over 15 years now, I think, talking movies.
Crazy.
This show, though, we've been doing this for a couple years now. This was like a pandemic baby, basically, because we were bored and needed something to do during the pandemic. So we started this YouTube thing, and it has just blossomed since then. My goal was always just to do this for fun. We made the 100 subscribers, and that's as high as I would ever think we could go. I mean, but who knows?
We gotta get you a plaque to put behind you.
I know, like a 100, like a fake YouTube 100. That would be hilarious, actually. Joining me as always, as we are talking Yellowstone, is Jacob Roth from Wyoming. How's it going, buddy?
Good. It's chilly. 25 now. We've got about
You're
5
in
inches of
Wyoming.
snow.
Yeah.
It was really foggy today. Like, couldn't see more than I don't know, 50 yards ahead of you.
Interesting.
Yeah, really foggy.
Craziness. Andrew, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Even though, yet again, I know you do not watch Lawman, Bass Reeves, but I do definitely appreciate you stopping by and hanging out in the chat. Yeah, I mean, we've had weird weather in the South. I know maybe the news has seen that we had some horrible weather up in Tennessee. Alabama had some really rough winds, straight line winds, and it ends up there were a couple of tornadoes this past Sunday. So we've had just crazy weather for this time of year for us. It's abnormal, but we're cold. We're getting colder now. It's like officially, I would say, like winter. Although I think technically the first day of winter's like what, December 22nd or something like that, or the 20th. Or
Oh, that's a great question.
I don't know the official first day. It's like next week, I think, is the official first day of winter.
Yeah, December 21st.
21st. I jumped around it. I said 20th, 22nd.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
Stupid.
It's always been that way, man. It's always been
I know,
that way.
but it's dumb. It should be like beginning of November. Well, gosh, that's even kind of fall too, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Red,
December is winter.
Red, I'm so sorry I did not see you in the chat. I mean, I sometimes I'm blind to seeing your name pop up, but I will go ahead and say that no, you are definitely not chopped liver.
We also need to know. You have to comment to know that you're here.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's true.
That's
true.
on you.
That's true. Yeah, Andrew, weather's been crazy. It's that time of year. We of course are talking about Bass Reeves. It's kind of, I know we've talked about this a lot. It's kind of in the Yellowstone verse, kind of not. David Oyelowo has had a big week, Jacob. I mean, a couple of big things for him in his career. He got nominated for a Golden Globe for his performance in Lawman, Bass Reeves.
Whoa, you with the graphics.
Which is me with the graphics, which is awesome for him. It's in that weird category. They're calling it a limited series, so it's best actor in a limited, mini, or whatever series. They've got a bunch of different words they throw out for that. But then also today, he and his wife's production company inked a deal with Apple TV, and that is really where people want to work right now, I think, is Apple TV. For prestige and stuff like that. And I gotta say, I mean, I'm not trying to be like uncouth here, but his wife's a looker. I mean, good for him. I gotta say, but it's cool. I'm glad that he is. This is. I saw a neat little interview about this show that he did. I think with either CBS this morning. That would make sense since it's a Paramount thing. Where he just talked about how this has been a show that he's wanted to make for a really long time. And so I'm just glad to see the success of the show. It's getting a lot of people watching it. And subsequently, we've had pretty good numbers when we've been talking about Bass Reeves. It's that Yellowstone, even though it's technically not Yellowstone. It's got that Yellowstone vibe. I use the Yellowstone hashtag for sure.
Yeah,
and that'll get people like in general, but
Dave,
Go
David
ahead.
Oyelowo has a movie coming out soon. It's a
Yeah,
2023 movie. It looks like a musical, maybe. It's called The
interesting.
Book of Clarence.
Yeah, I saw that's
Have you
not
seen this? What
l
is this?
luckily, he's not the lead. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Benedict Cumberbatch, James McAvoy, David
well,
Oyelowo,
the
Lakeith
lead
Stanfield.
yeah, like, the lead is Lakeith Stanfield. So,
Okay.
it's in the vein, I would say, of Monty Python and the Life of Brian, where it's a satire of the life of Jesus in a way,
Okay.
because this guy Clarence sees Jesus getting a following. And so he decides he wants in on that. And so he starts to also say that he is the Messiah.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
it's one of those things where a good old Southern Baptist like myself should probably not support. So
Yeah.
I probably won't go see that one, but I will say the trailer was intriguing. But it does seem like it may fall into the sacrilegious
Yeah,
line, I
I can see
suppose.
that from the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, yeah. I mean, he's
Huh.
been in a lot of great movies before, though. I mean, I think that he is a man of faith, David Oyelowo. I
Okay.
believe that I have heard that before. So yeah, Rhett, you're right, man. This was a rough thing. This guy, Andre Brower, only 61 years old, passed away from an illness that he had. Right. I will. That's right, right. So really sad. I liked Andre Brower a lot. Really like journeyman actor, television
Yeah.
actor mostly. A lot of Law and Order shows. A lot of I think Homicide,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's just sad. I mean,
Mhm.
far too young. And so yeah, definitely prayers to his family. It's got to be, and to pass away during this season, it's rough. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it at all. But yes, Rhett, back to the book of Clarence. I might buy the 4K steelbook. No, I would never. I would never buy it. Andrew, the the Shift is a movie that I know Dr. Earl went to see, and he actually thought it was pretty good. It's another Angel Studios film. Did you end up going to see it also?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen some Angel Studios films. I think I haven't seen any of their, like, non-biblical stuff.
Well, that
So,
this is
like
still falls in that category, I
yes,
think.
but I mean, like, His Only Son, like, The
Oh,
Story of
right, right, right.
Abraham. Yeah,
I
like,
see.
I've seen that.
Well, wait,
I
didn't they do
guess
Sound of
I guess they
whatever?
did kind of do Sound of Freedom.
I think they were part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were, like, the, like,
Distributor, maybe?
distributor.
Something like
Um,
that? I don't know. Yeah, Dr. Earl
yeah,
went to see it. I mean, Dr. Earl goes to see all of those. I have not seen
I
it.
should
I
be
do
better about seeing all of them.
I don't
Look,
know. I don't know,
you
dude. You don't
you support what is
okay. I
supposed to be supported.
I feel you. I feel you.
Same
Okay.
reason that we probably won't go see the book of
Book of
whatever you
Clarence.
wanna
I
call it. Yeah.
yeah, book yeah, okay. All right, I feel you. I mean, maybe I'll go see it. If it's got Kevin Sorbo in it, which I don't think
Mm.
this one does, I usually stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a
But I
pretty good
think this
idea.
this has got some A-listers in it, maybe. Dennis Quaid.
Um,
Is Dennis Quaid in this one? No, he's in the
I don't
airplane.
think so. Neil McDonough,
I do like
Sean
Neil McDonough.
Astin, um,
Oh, okay. I think
yep.
I recall this one only because
I think we
I
talked
saw
about it
well, I
last
read
week.
an interview that Neil McDonough did about how this movie changed his life. He apparently plays a Satan-like character, or maybe Satan, in this movie, and he said that it changed his life for the better. And he also has professed his faith in Christ, I
Mhm.
believe. And so it's
Um,
look. I mean, maybe I'll go see it. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Tabish. That would be the main draw for me. She's
She's in
she's in
Chosen.
The Chosen, yeah. She plays Mary Magdalene, and
No, we're not talking about Lady Ballers. That's Lady Ballers, Brian. We're talking about the Shift. Oh man. Now, hey, look. Now that Brian's in the chat, I got to ask you a question. What's your take on this whole Doctor Who thing? Have you seen any of them?
who are you talking to? Me?
You? Yeah.
I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah,
you
no.
got on the bandwagon has been because it's now available on Disney Plus. So that's a
Yeah,
lot more eyes are potentially on it than maybe previously.
yeah.
Um it's a little much for me, I've come to find out.
Yeah,
Uh
it doesn't I don't know.
a lot
It
of people
doesn't
love it, but
yeah. It's just I could possibly love it, but
Brian's getting mad at me.
I don't need another thing to love.
Right, I've got too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, and in fact I was telling I think it was Brian today, like he's watching Silo right now. I've heard that show's awesome.
I
And
watched
I
one
just don't have
episode of Silo. Really good.
yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, I
When the
just
hell
don't
am I
have the
gonna watch
time.
that? Yeah,
Exactly. I just
yeah.
Red, I feel you. I feel you there. Um, but
Hey,
I mean, I
wasn't
want to watch
Karen Gillan
Silo.
was in it too? Like
Oh
that
yeah, Kieran Gillen was in it. Yeah, I mean, look, the companions have been good. The
mhm,
new companion, that I mean, it looks like it might be worth watching, but I just the plot stuff and just some of the characters are just I just can't get into it. I
yeah.
try. I've tried in years past. I've watched a lot of Doctor Who, but I ultimately cannot say that that is a show that I love. Anyways, let's get to why we're here. We are here to talk about Lawman Bass Reeves Part 7. So before the show, I alluded that I had some issues with this particular episode, and I'll tell you why.
Mhm, mhm.
This type of television episode is the type of television episode that I loathe. It has a trope in it that I cannot stand, and that is constant callbacks and flashbacks to things that we've already seen take place. So a lot of Bass Reeves lamenting about all the stuff that Barry Pepper's character Elijah, wait, what's his name? I
Esau.
can't. Esau has said to him through the whole series.
Mhm.
And so ultimately, if you timestamp this episode, there's maybe actually 10 minutes of new content. And the rest is just constant, like hearing Barry Pepper's voice, tormenting, like gnashing of teeth from Bass Reeves. And so I did not get this is not generally the type of episode that you would see in a penultimate episode of a season. Usually those are pretty like action packed episodes or something significant happens. I didn't feel like that this episode delivered in that way. And I haven't even checked and seen what the score on IMDb on this one is.
It's a
I can't
7.5, which may be the lowest
That's right.
so
Okay. So
far.
it's tracking with kind of how I feel about it.
Last week's was 7.6. It's wow, okay, it's these
Yeah,
numbers have gone down since last week.
yeah,
So I'll start at the beginning.
yeah,
8.1, 8.0, 7.7, 7.4, 7.6, 7.6, 7.5.
right.
So I don't know. That's kind of surprising that they've gone down so much.
They've gone down a little bit. I mean, I think the series is good. The acting is certainly good.
Mhm.
The David Oyelowo is passionate about the character, and that comes through in the performance, and so that helps you, like, kind of as a viewer, even if you've like read one article about it, it
Mhm.
kind of helps you as a viewer maybe get more engaged with the show because you know that he's really passionate about it. He's an executive producer on it. He's really into the character. He's been working on it for like 6 years trying to get it to screen. And so you want to support it in that manner as a viewer. But this last episode, like nothing really happened, right? I mean,
No, you're not wrong. This episode feels like they had 7 episodes made and
right.
Paramount Plus at
Wanted
ordered
8.
8.
Right,
Like,
exactly. It
yeah,
was like
it
and
also for the first time, and it's probably been true this whole time, but I think there's a possibility. We'll see how it ends. We'll see if they wanna
right.
do a season 2, but
Rumor is
I
there is
almost wanna say this should have been a movie.
yeah, or a mini series maybe, like where you have a 3-part mini series maybe
Okay.
instead of,
Like 3 hour and a half type of deals,
that's old
like maybe a
school.
little less than hour and a
Th
half.
that's not something that happens much anymore. That whole term mini series doesn't often happen anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's more limited series, or there's some other term that happens. I can't remember, but miniseries is just something that doesn't happen often, and I think Paramount, of course, wants to milk every
Mhm.
second that they possibly can, especially with its loose connection to the Yellowstone verse. But I mean, it's all Taylor Sheridan stuff. So,
Mhm.
I mean, the significant thing that obviously happened in this, as you're watching Bass just unravel, like he's really let Esau get to him. It's a situation where he found out that Esau's the big bad. Basically, he's the
Mhm.
guy that's been killing all these slaves, and
But we kind of figured that out last
we
episode.
did, we did. So this was more of just him being further tormented about that and trying to figure out how to get back out on the road and basically get to Esau. So he gets another job, right? The judge gives him another job,
And the
and he
judge gives him an easy one.
he get well, that's the
Yeah.
thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an easy one, which is to go arrest this old lady. Um, and this cook that they hire, which I thought that was interesting. They decided to hire a cook. So, Shaka Zulu or V, dude, V terrified me as a kid. That show, an alien invasion show, if you're not familiar with it, Roth,
I
and
am not.
that original series j- was kind of groundbreaking in the 80s,
Okay.
and it terrified the crap out of me. Spoiler alert, when the human or the snake person or the lizard person pulls off the human face and you see the lizard face, I had nightmares. I was too young to be watching
Yeah.
it. It terrified the crap out of me though.
Yeah.
They did a new one a couple of years ago as just like a regular TV series. Not as good. Had
Okay.
Maureen Baccarin in it, so no, I mean, liked it for that reason,
Yep.
but it was not as good. But yeah, the original V and the original Alien Nation. Sorry, sidetrack. But both of those, the original Alien Nation and the original V, fantastic shows.
Mhm.
Anyways, so yeah, he gets sent out with this cook, and things go wrong quick. He just words got to him. Just the guy was just in his face, kind of calling him out for doing the white man's bidding,
Mhm.
that type of thing. And
Talks about his
because
wife.
talks about his wife, because of the state of mind that Bass is in right now, dude just puts him down. Just rifle to the throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal. Do you think the guy
I
was drawing? I don't think the guy was drawing.
no, I don't think he was at all. I think he was
Yeah.
no, like, I think he was, like, putting it away because like,
That's
he
what I
kinda,
kind of
like,
got
pulled it
too.
out a little bit, and then he was, like, tucking it back in, and I don't
Yeah.
think Bass thought he was drawing either.
No. No, I don't
Um,
think he did either. He just wanted an excuse to kill him.
yeah,
But even
it's this episode just felt so useless.
it did. No, it did. I
Um,
mean, especially yeah, Bass did shoot first. Especially the manner of which they rushed the whole court
mhm.
case thing. Like,
This is a 32-minute episode. This has gotta be the shortest one of
it's
all of them,
certainly
right?
the shortest one. Right. It is the shortest one because, like I said, there's maybe only 10 minutes of actual content. The
Mhm,
rest is just flashbacks
mhm,
of Esau just saying crap about Bass.
and, like,
You're a killer. You're a
remind
blah,
me,
blah. Yeah.
had we
Yeah.
seen that conversation before? Did we see that
Um,
last week?
yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought
We
so.
we had seen that
So,
conversation
really
before.
useless. If
It
we
was
hadn't
all
seen it, if we'd
flashbacks.
yeah, yeah,
It's the type of television episode that I hate. I mean, it often it used to happen when you had like a 22 episode season of something.
right,
And so maybe it's warranted to remind the viewer
right.
of things that happened at the beginning of the season. But when you've got like an 8 episode season, you don't need this type of
No.
episode. You can show your main character unraveling without showing the the reason he's unraveling. We know as a viewer why he's in the state he's in.
Mhm,
He's tormented by Esau. He's found out what the whole deal is. Just you know, we don't need to necessarily continue to
mhm.
hear it over and over again throughout the whole episode. It was just I was just way over it by the end of the episode.
Yeah,
I mean, it gets us. It did get us to maybe like one of the best shots of the show, which was at the very end when the three are
yep, they're
riding. I
riding off into
love
yeah,
into the sunset or whatever. The
yep,
cowboy classic from silhouette. Loved that. Looked beautiful.
yep.
Fantastic. But I mean, that's maybe the only good thing in the episode, to
It
be
is, and, like,
honest.
especially when, like, we didn't know that Dennis Quaid was gonna be joining him for this, right? So, why
No.
not make this episode, like, him gathering a posse and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
recruiting Quaid, recruiting that other black sheriff?
It's interesting, and I just thought about this. We actually never saw Quaid's face. I wonder if he wasn't even on set that day, and they just had some extra, like,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't have to pay Quaid anymore. Because really, we haven't seen him that much. I mean, yeah, he's in the series, but I
Yeah.
mean, we've only seen him a couple times, and we didn't see him as a silhouette, or we
Mhm.
didn't see his face or whatever. So yeah, it may not have even really been Quaid, but yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
in the finale, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, so they're saving all the big stuff for the finale that is next week,
And,
or this
like,
Sunday, I
s
guess.
spend this episode him gathering the posse, him convincing the judge to let him go after this guy. Like,
Right.
set the table. Don't just like, we've already seen him unravel. Give us more with him and his family type of deal. Like, I don't know.
Sorry, Rhett. Sorry. And I'm trying not to be overly negative about it, because the 10 minutes of actual content we got weren't horrible. I mean, I as a viewer, we understand that Bass is going through really tough time right now. He doesn't want to be at home. His wife knows he doesn't want to be there. So, he makes this mistake of killing this cook. He goes to trial. He kind of calls out the judge in a private meeting they have,
Mhm.
and it's like, look, you're the one that kept sending me out on all these jobs. Do you want to join me in jail also, because blood's on your hands just as much as it's on mine? And so maybe some corruption there, in the sense that the judge basically says, no, he's not guilty.
Mhm.
um but again, we didn't really get to see the trial. I mean, we just, like,
Right.
he's there. It goes 6 weeks earlier,
Mhm.
and then it comes back to the present, and it's like trial over in 5 seconds, and you're like, then you see the posse. I'm like, okay, well, there's your 32-minute episode of maybe 10 minutes of content. I mean,
Yeah.
um
And it's just so jarring compared to the previous 6 episodes
yeah.
that
No, it
were,
is.
like,
Yeah,
a good character study and, like,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
yeah.
think that they probably could have gotten away with 7 episodes in the series.
Mhm.
But I mean, hey, that maybe means we're going to get a lot of good content in the finale. Because
Hopefully it's
they
long too. I down for a long
hopefully it's
episode.
longer. Yeah, maybe like 45 minutes. I don't think we're ever going to get like an hour long of any of these. I don't think any of them have been an hour. Maybe that
Yeah.
first episode was, but I mean, they're certainly saving everything for the finale, which I can appreciate that, but also don't give me a penultimate episode that essentially nothing happens. I mean, because then that's a bit frustrating, because as soon as that ends, you're like, well, they could have just skipped that episode altogether.
Mhm.
I mean, they could
Mhm.
have gone episode 6 to 8, and they really didn't need to show us that he had to go through a trial. I mean, unless these things are actual events that occurred in Bass's life, that's the tough thing that we really don't know.
Yeah.
I know that these are based on 2 different books. We don't know if this stuff actually happened in Bass's life. It's obviously a dramatized version of maybe some true events. We don't know if he had to go on trial, or anything. Maybe he
So he
did.
was.
I didn't look it up, but I mean,
He was arrested on
he
a
was
murder
arrested
trial.
on a murder trial. Okay.
Um,
So maybe some of this is, I
acquitted,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, maybe this was based on some actual events that happened in history,
Yeah.
and in which case, fine. But they could have done it a bit differently than they showed us the whole trial. That literally, the
Yeah.
trial was 5 minutes of a 32-minute episode, of which 20 something minutes was flashback scenes of torment from Esau to Bass. Which I love Barry Pepper. I'm very excited. even though this episode was not the best of the series, I'm very excited for the finale because we're going to get Bass, we're going to get Esau, we're going to get maybe some more Dennis Quaid. We're going to see him do a bit more than he has in the series. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a packed full episode. Rumor is they're thinking about a second season, so they could end this storyline and then continue with. I mean, because this type of series lends to an episode of the week type situation where it's just like go get a certain bad guy.
Yeah.
Um,
My only
so
worry with that is that they've made him so old so fast.
yeah, I mean, well, he did look old in this episode. Um, I don't know how old David Oelio is in real life. He's in his, I think, late 40s, maybe.
The flashback to like one of the first couple episodes,
He looked super young,
you
didn't he?
look. I'm like, wait, was that a
Yeah,
different like person playing him? Like, what in the world? I was. That has been
that's
maybe the
Hollywood
most
magic.
impressive part. Like, they've done such a good job with this like makeup
Oh
department.
yeah,
Like,
totally, totally.
he
Yeah, no.
still looks like David Oyelowo, but he just looks like every stage
Mhm.
of David Oyelowo's
The
age.
the 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 one thing I was a bit like shocked by is how ripped he is, like in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Just like got totally
yeah,
ripped for this show, and I'm like, I've just never the type of actor he has been. It's never been a situation where I could picture him as an action star or something, and I could really picture him as an action star after seeing this. Which I'm like, man, get him in a Marvel movie or something.
yeah.
I don't know. Marvel is so in shambles that I don't know if I would wish that on any actor right now.
Did
But
you see this DC Tubi deal?
oh yeah, dude.
That's
I mean,
shocking.
it's not though because every single major studio has recognized that this what is it fast, which is
Yeah, free
free
ad-supported television.
ad-supported television is the way to go, and
Yeah,
so license your stuff out and make the
yeah,
money. I mean, even
yeah.
Disney's doing that now. They're licensing out to someone. I can't remember who I saw that they licensed their stuff out to, but it was another like Tubi or Crackle. Well, I don't think
Chicken
Crackle, but
soup for the soul.
Chicken Super. There's what is the other one? Well, Pluto is
Tubi
owned by
Crackleplex.
yeah, Tubi Crackleplex. Pluto's owned by CBS or Viacom or whoever the crap.
Freevies, the Amazon Prime one.
Freebies, the Amazon Prime one. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Zaslav is all about finding
Mhm.
ways to make money, so it
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me at all. Now,
No.
if they're licensing it out to Tubi and taking it off of Max, that's a problem. I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah.
That would be crazy talk if they did that.
That would be
But
very crazy.
you've got to leave your movies on your pay station, but also license it out to Tubi or
Mhm.
whomever, and make the money that way. But I mean, I think Tubi's the only one that's owned. I think they're not owned by any big conglomerate. I think they're their own thing. Like Pluto's owned by CBS, whoever CBS is owned by, I can't remember. Used to be Viacom,
Viac
but
Oh, is it
I don't
not
think it is.
Viacom anymore?
I don't know who it is now. I can't remember who they sold to somebody. I thought, or it's like Paramount. I think it's just Paramount now.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens
Yeah.
with all of that. But yeah, I mean, super excited about the finale. This episode didn't deter me from that.
No, it didn't. Like, so I just watched it tonight and it
Yeah,
was I saw that it was 32 minutes. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I can do some other stuff beforehand.
like yes,
I went to
32 minutes of
confession, I went to mass, and then I
yeah, yeah,
came
yeah.
home and I had plenty of time and I was like, oh, I can watch an episode of Surviving Barstool. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You're like 32 minutes is gonna be packed full
yeah,
of action, and it's just like what?
yeah, yeah.
It was super disappointing at the time that I watched it.
Hmm.
Just because I wanted more. I'm used to the penultimate episode of any series being kind of like chock full of something big
Hmm.
happening to set you up for the finale. Really, all that this did was get us to a point where we see Bass and his 3-man posse gonna go out and try
Hmm.
and find Esau and take him out or whatever's gonna happen.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. But I have enjoyed the show. I think it's a good show. Clearly, whomever the 300 voting members of the Golden Globes thought that David Oyelowo deserved a nomination for acting. So 1923 also got a nomination for Best Limited Series. I know Rhett did not like 1923 as much, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if any of the
1923, Rhett and
oh,
Earl.
and Helen
It
Mirren
was.
got a nomination too.
Oh, okay, that's very
Yeah.
nice. 1923 had such an impact on Rhett and Earl that they didn't even want to be on this show.
I know. Yeah, like Earl and Rhett both were like, I'm just disgusted. I'm not going to watch Bass Reeves. I don't know. Earl was the excuse of time, which I don't believe that one bit. And Rhett just didn't want to watch it, I guess, which is fine. We obviously still chose to cover it.
Heck yeah.
But I care, Andrew. I like the Globe still. Especially if they get Ricky Gervais to be the host again. He owns me when he's the host of the Golden Globes.
For sure.
He is hilarious.
I don't care about them, but
yeah, I've just been watching them for so long.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't dislike them. It's I don't know.
I've been watching them since I was like in middle school, and so
are they the ones that had to take a break?
They're the ones that took a break just because they got into some hot water with
Hollywood Foreign Press.
Well, they no longer exist. That organization completely disbanded, and so now we've got this 300 member and it's like international critics is what they said. So I don't know if that includes any critics from the United States or not. I think it's like
really clever change of name. Hollywood Foreign Press to international critics.
Yeah, it's just like so. Yeah, and there's a board like overseeing it, and so it's all just commercial crap. And CBS has it now. It used to be a NBC only thing. It's going to air on CBS. We'll see what goes down. They can't find a host because there's still.
We'll host it.
I would host it in a heartbeat.
Michael and I will host it.
I would actually fly to LA to host it.
For sure. I'd drive there.
Probably. I don't think I could drive, but I would fly there, and I hate flying. But if they wanted us to host it, we would host it for. I would do it for like the plane ticket, put me up in a hotel, $1,000. Give me $1,000 or something. I mean,
rent me a tuxedo.
Yeah, rent me a tuxedo. I mean, I would. You don't even like. You do need to pay me a little bit, but not even that much. Like, you don't have to pay me. Like, they tried to get Chris Rock, and he said no. They tried to get. I can't remember who else. Look, Rhett and I are good hosts. We've hosted things before, live at like different. I know it's on a smaller scale, but different cons, and we can make a room captivated with our silliness. So, anyways, well, good. I'm excited about the season finale. I mean, there's not much to say about this particular episode, but I mean, I think we've covered about as much as you can. I mean, there's still this ongoing. Okay, so one thing that did happen in the episode, and I want to at least give it a minute to talk about, is there's still the ongoing stuff where the daughter apparently, and I had forgotten about this, where she talked down to this little white girl. And this little white girl apparently went to her racist father.
Creepy ass family.
Creepy family. And now they're burning things in the yard. I think it was a scarecrow or something that they were burning. Like, you know, we've seen that portrayed in film quite a bit. So yeah, there's still that storyline. I guess the one storyline with the daughter and the boyfriend has wrapped up. The daughter
has left home, presumably.
Yes, the daughter that daughter, left home. So yeah, there's still now okay, and that one, the street preacher's companion left him,
not wife.
Just friend or whatever, came back, and now she's hanging out with Bass's wife. So there was a couple other things that happened.
So her name's Esme. My dad thinks that her and Bass Reeves' wife are sisters.
Oh, I don't know that they ever spelled that out.
I don't either. He said that at one point they said something about he thought they were because when she came to the house, maybe the first time or second time, she said, "Hey, come say hello to your Aunt Esme."
Well, you know,
and so I didn't know if that was like the cool.
That's a cultural thing.
Like, Hey,
Yeah, that
like
just might be a
like my
anti.
cousins would call me Uncle Jacob, even though I'm not
Sure,
their uncle. Or
right.
like
Same. Yeah, yeah. I
close
mean,
friends, small children. Hey, Uncle Jacob's coming over.
yeah, like my cousin's kids call me Uncle Mike, even though I'm not their uncle.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's maybe the same type of thing. So, or actually, it's my wife's cousin's kids. So it's even like
Mm-hmm.
further. They
Hmm.
still just call me Uncle Mike. So yeah. But anyways, um, well, cool. Anything else? What do we got going on? Nothing else.
Oh,
I think we're
I don't
good.
know. I feel like we didn't take our like 30-minute tangent that we usually do the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we usually have something to talk about. I mean, I guess I could pull up the Golden Globe nominations and we go all through all of those.
I mean, we certainly could. I probably have not seen any of them.
Oh, you haven't seen any of them.
Well,
Let me
that's probably not
think about
true.
it. Yeah, you
1923.
have. Yeah, I mean, the Golden Globes are interesting because they are. Let me see if I can do this. I'm not really good at this stuff, but I'm going to try. Present. Share screen. Select tab. Share. All right. Can you see that yet? No. How does this
Yes.
work? Let's
Yes, I
try this.
can. I can see it.
There we go. It's pretty small, I guess. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Let's go over here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Is that getting any better? Is that too
Mm,
much?
it didn't
Let's
zoom at
scroll
all,
down.
and it's not
All
scrolling.
right, let's go through some of these. Oh, I wish they had a list. They've got it. Okay, here we go. Can you
Am
see
I on a
Best Motion
delay?
Picture Drama
No, it didn't
right
scroll
now?
for me.
Are you there?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
I'm here. I don't know if I'm
Oh,
pulling
did
up the YouTube right now. Okay. So I think Michael may be frozen. Okay,
yeah,
there we go. I'm here. I think
there.
you
You can't
pulling
see
that
that
up
right there?
has hurt your internet. I can see it now.
I
It
might
was
be locked up.
lagging. It was lagging big
This
time.
this was a bad idea.
This was
Clearly
a
this
terrible idea. Let me just pull the list up as well,
this was
and
yeah.
then you can take that off.
Okay, let's do through that. I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, here we go.
You're on the Variety article.
That was bad for my internet. That
That
was
was tough.
really bad for my internet. My internet did not like that at all. That
No,
was like, yeah, like duly noted. Note to self: never do that again. I mean,
that
that was
was
just a
really
really
tough.
bad.
I
So
didn't
just
know
pull
if
up the list then. Let's just
yes, I've got the list here as well. Best.
okay. All right.
Okay. So they've got best. I forgot that it's not just TV at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, it's both. It's both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And now
best motion picture
I'm probably
picture
on
drama.
this like ridiculous delay now, aren't I?
Yes. Yes, I believe you
See,
are. But
this
okay.
was a
Well,
bad idea.
okay. No, I think we're back. I don't think you're
Oh,
on the
okay.
delay anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Good. Good.
we're
Good.
we're good. We're good.
Okay.
That was
My
crazy.
computer, like Brian has not been able to come. Uncle Brian has not been able to come over and like fix my computer,
Hmm.
and so anything more than what we're doing right now is a struggle for my computer.
The do I need to? I think you need to like hack like Birmingham school district.
I don't know what I need to
So
do.
so they put a call in to get Brian to Birmingham.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he works for a certain company that I could
Hmm.
say I need some help, and he
Yep.
could just show up at my house. Like I could give
Yep.
a business address. Oh yeah. All right. Let's just do the big ones. Like not TV. Let's just do movies. I mean, let's give our opinions on some of these.
Okay. So best motion picture drama. I need to see four of these.
Okay. And what are
I
they?
I have Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, seen those two. Maestro, Past Lives, The Zone of Interest, and Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
I have not seen those.
So here's what's interesting about those, and this is, I think, a lot of what the Golden Globes are going to do a little bit different than the Academy Awards,
Hmm.
because the Golden Globes, like I said earlier, is like 300 international critics.
Hmm.
So the two that the Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall are foreign films. Um,
Oh, okay.
kind of like, well, Zone of Interest, it is a foreign film, but it's directed by Jonathan Glazer, who's a British director. It was
Okay.
made in the United Kingdom, so it's I mean technically yes, foreign film, but it's kind of like his return. He's been gone for like a long time. It's been like 8 years since that guy directed anything, so it's
This
a
movie
big deal.
sounds awful. The
Yeah,
commandant of Auschwitz, Rudolf
yeah.
Höss, and his wife Hedwig strive to build a dream life for their family in a
Mhm.
house and garden next to the camp.
Yeah, it's an interesting premise for
Did
sure.
the president of Harvard and MIT and Penn direct this movie?
That's right. Yes, exactly. It is an interesting premise.
Holy
There it
crap!
is, but yeah, I mean, I really feel like Oppenheimer should just dominate
Yeah,
both the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards. Now, I mean, the voting body's a bit different in the Golden Globes, so maybe it won't, but I mean, gosh, I mean, there's no movie that I feel like can beat Oppenheimer in head to head in
mhm.
like a best picture. Like you can't convince me that Killers of the Flower Moon is better than Oppenheimer. I'm sorry. I mean, you just can't.
No.
I mean, but and I'm also one that did not love Killers of the Flower Moon like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I thought it was a well-made movie, obviously, well-acted movie. I just it just wasn't like jiving with me for
I
whatever
think it's in
reason.
my top 10,
Yeah, I mean, I've
of
got
my
it in my
2030.
top 10 just by default almost, but if something like
Yeah, it's number 10.
if I love Maestro, which I don't see that I don't feel like I am going to, but if I'm just like blown away by Maestro or something, then I could see Killers of the Flower Moon getting and those other two like Zone of Interest and Anatomy of Fall. I've heard they're like super good, but the subject matter of those just seems like it's depressing as all get out. And what was the no, okay, that's all of
Past
them. There
Lives. Past Lives
oh,
was that other one, and I
that
need
movie
to
is
see that.
fan freaking tastic.
Yeah.
I don't think it can beat Oppenheimer, but it is fan freaking tastic. I loved that movie. Everybody should see Past Lives just
I need
because
that thing to stream somewhere.
it's A24, so we did hear that Max just had a big
Mm,
signing with
that's right.
A24 to stream their stuff, so maybe, I mean,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on. What's the comedy? Do you have the
Musical or
comedies?
comedy, Barbie, Poor Things, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May, December, and Air. Air's an interesting inclusion.
I
That
loved
seems like a
Air.
movie I loved Air too. That seems like a movie that's been forgotten.
It has because
Um,
it was, most I mean, it was you could watch it in theaters for a short window, but mostly it was direct to Apple TV Plus, right? I
mhm.
mean, so I feel like Barbie's probably got that locked. I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure.
I
For
I
sure.
just
I'm
don't
very much looking forward to seeing The Holdovers at some point.
oh, dude, it's
I
so
missed
good.
it in the theaters, I think.
So good.
Um,
Yeah.
but
That's one that I absolutely loved also, but, what were the other ones? You had,
American Fiction, Poor Things, May,
those are I wanna
December.
see yeah, I gotta watch May December again. I mean, I didn't when I watched that the first time, I was not watching it as if it was a comedy.
Mhm.
Maybe if I watch it as if it's a comedy, maybe I'll like it a little bit more. I mean, again, performances are fantastic in it. I kinda railed on that Charles Melton guy. He's fine in it, but, he got nominated for Golden Globe for it, so I don't know.
Boy,
What
I gotta figure this Netflix thing out. I might have to buy Netflix.
oh, I thought you had Netflix.
No, it was my mom has Netflix.
Oh, and they've
We
locked you
share.
out.
They've locked, but it's been weird.
Oh.
So Netflix is my least used streaming platform.
It's it's turned into that for me. It used to
Um,
not be, but it's
oh,
kinda
for
turned
sure.
into that. Yeah.
And then, so probably like a month and a half after they like started to do that deal with locking
Right.
people out,
Sure.
I logged into it and it worked. I
Mhm.
watched
Okay.
that James Franco, Seth Rogen Into the World movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I know the one you're talking about.
and
This
then
is
maybe
the
a
end
week.
or something like
Yep,
that.
this is the end. That's it. Maybe a week later, I tried it again because I
Didn't
wanted to
work.
watch I Think You Should Leave, which is that comedy series, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
don't know that one.
I wanted to watch that. Couldn't. It was said, "You don't
Sure.
have access to this.
You
Are you
don't have
traveling?"
access.
I was like,
Right.
"Okay, bummer.
Right.
Well, that sucks." And then a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I was like, let's just try it. I want to watch No Hard Feelings, and it worked.
That movie's good. That wasn't nominated for comedy?
It was not.
I thought it was. Oh, she was nominated for Best
Okay.
Actress in a Comedy Role.
Okay.
Look, talking about that movie, I laughed at that movie way more. I know everybody's loving Lady Ballers right now. I laughed way more at No Hard Feelings than I did Lady Ballers. Like, Lady
Yeah.
Ballers is amateurish. I mean, let's be honest. It's just, I understand obviously the choice of the message that they're trying to put forth, but it's
Yeah.
just amateurish. It
I
was not funny to me at all.
I think maybe Jeremy Boring playing the lead role hurt it. Not to say that he was like bad necessarily, because I
Yeah,
think he actually
that's
did all right. Like I think
yeah,
everybody did
yeah,
all right, and I think I had a pretty low floor on going into it.
maybe I
Um,
maybe I had too high of a floor. I don't know.
and I thought for what it was, and I thought it was good overall.
Yeah.
Um, I think I actually rated Lady Ballers and No Hard Feelings the same, both at a 77. I did.
Yeah,
Um,
I rated Lady Ballers lower than No Hard Feelings.
mhm.
I can't remember. I think I gave Lady Ballers like 2.5,
I think
maybe.
you
I mean,
did. Yeah.
yeah, it just, I struggled through it. I
Oh,
certainly,
barely. You only gave No Hard Feelings 3 stars.
I know, I know. It
Okay.
was still barely, it was lower though,
Okay.
lower. I laughed at
Yeah.
No Hard Feelings a couple
Yeah.
times. Um, I'm not gonna give. Sometimes it's tough for a comedy to get like 4 stars for me. I mean, I need it to be like,
Interesting. Okay.
I need that comedy to be like something like we used to get from the Fairley Brothers or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I need that thing because it's been a minute for there to be a really good comedy. I thought Blockers got close. I thought some of that stuff that came out a couple years ago, like Tag's really good,
Mhm.
but not 4 stars good. I mean, let's be honest. But I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. But like Barbie, that's a comedy. I gave that 4. I mean,
Yeah.
I like Barbie a lot. I think that movie's, yeah, the first Hangover, Andrew, I don't know if I'd go 5, but I agree it's up there. I mean, it's high. I mean, the first one, the second and third one are hot mess, but I mean,
Whoa.
what
Maybe
did I
I
give?
was too I gave Barbie a 76.
You were too low on Barbie.
You gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, it's a 4-star movie. I don't know if it's
Hmm.
5 stars, but it's a 4-star movie at least.
No, you know what? I'm gonna stick by that. I think I like No Hard Feelings 1 point more than Barbie.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think okay, well, I was with Rhett when we saw Barbie, and we were both dying laughing in Barbie. It was so unexpected how funny that movie was, and I did not laugh that much with No Hard Feelings. I liked it. I laughed a little bit, but I was freaking dying with Barbie.
So,
There was some great stuff in
yes,
Barbie.
I agree that Barbie was funnier than
Yeah.
No Hard Feelings, but I think the story in No Hard Feelings was better than the story in Barbie. The
Yeah,
story in Barbie
fair.
was
Yeah,
barely a
no,
story.
I feel that. No, that's fair. I mean, I just Ryan Gosling freaking
Oh, for
blew me
sure.
away in
But
Barbie.
then
I
that
mean,
awful, horrendous speech that one gal
oh, I
gives
know.
at the end
Yeah, American Ferrera.
knocks a
And look,
few points off.
she did not get nominated, and a lot
Good,
of people are ticked off about that. But
good.
she did not get nominated. And
Andrew, you're
which
too young to watch Barbie.
no, you can watch. My kids watched it this weekend.
Too
Finally,
old to play with them, though.
until the play Barbie. All right, let's move on to the next category. We've gone on too
Best
long with this.
director, Bradley Cooper, Greta Gerwig, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, Celine Song for Past Lives. I feel
Yeah, I mean,
like
the issue is we haven't seen some
Nolan,
of these yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nolan, Scorsese, maybe. I
yeah.
could see him giving it to Scorsese just 'cause.
No,
Screenplay
it needs to be
for
Nolan's
you
year.
think? Okay, I mean,
Needs
that's
to be. You can't give that to Scorsese just because he's old. I mean, give it to. It needs to be Nolan's year for Oppenheimer. That is a cinematic masterpiece. Like, they better give it to him. I can't see him not winning. But here's the problem with Nolan. He's not very personable. So I don't even know
yeah.
if dude would show up to the awards show. Like I feel like he's the type of guy that would probably just not bother showing up to these things. Um, Maybe he wins, maybe he accepts via satellite, and I feel like he would say thank you, and just that's it. Like I don't feel like you're going to get like a Scorsese speech or like even a Bradley Cooper speech, or I mean Celine Song, she would probably give a pretty big speech, that because I mean she's first time filmmaker.
Mhm.
I mean it'd be interesting if she won, but I mean again I love that movie, but I think it's Oppenheimer's year.
Yeah.
I can't see anything else. Now, Poor Things could be amazing. Obviously, I haven't seen that yet. We're not critics, so we don't get all these screeners where
Yeah.
we have already seen this stuff. So I'm hoping to see that this coming weekend. I believe it finally goes wide this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to see it. Obviously, I love all of Yorgos Lanthimos stuff, but I can't see anything beating Oppenheimer. I honestly can't. I mean, it's going to be that it's Oppenheimer's year for sure.
Yeah. Screenplay: Barbie, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Greta
what the
Gerwig.
maybe yeah. Greta Gerwig
Yeah.
and Noah Baumbach.
Baumbach.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's probably solid pick.
Yep. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama: Bradley Cooper, Maestro; Killian Murphy, Oppenheimer; Leo, Killers of the Flower Moon; Coleman Domingo, Rustin; Andrew
Hmm.
Scott, All of Us Strangers; and Barry Keegan, Saltburn. Ugh.
Dude, I'm
I
hearing
don't think
Salt.
I'm gonna watch Saltburn.
I don't think Saltburn is going to be seen by enough people for
Yeah.
that to make a blip. I've
The
heard
only way I see Saltburn is if somehow it's nominated for a Deucey.
it's I can't no, because I mean I'm gonna watch it. I don't think Dave and Earl are gonna see it. Maybe Dave would. It's coming to Prime like on the 22nd, so I'll
Okay.
probably watch it. I've heard there's a great cameo in it, so I kind of do want to see that cameo.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to spoil that, but
I've
I
heard
do
there's
want.
some disgusting acts in it as
Oh
well.
no, there's some. Yeah, no, I've heard it's wretched, but I'm intrigued enough where I'll probably
Yeah.
watch it. I mean, I've heard Poor Things has some pretty wretched stuff in it too, but I
Okay.
mean, it's more comedic than I think
Yeah.
Saltburn is. No, Saltburn, I equate that to like this generation's Cruel Intentions, but maybe it even goes beyond that. So I don't know necessarily if I'll like seek it out unless it gets a Best Picture nomination. I don't think you're going to see the Oscars nominate that.
Really?
Maybe Emerald Fennel for screenplay.
Okay.
I just it doesn't feel like an Oscar type film. I don't know. Rustin, I'm hearing good things about. I'm not necessarily very interested in the
I don't
subject
even know what
matter.
that is. I've never even heard of it.
I think Coleman Domingo, who I really like as an actor, I think Rustin was a gay activist, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the
Oh,
history of that. It's based on a true story. I don't know the history of that guy. But I don't know if I'll watch that one. It's on Netflix, I believe. I think it was a Netflix movie.
okay.
And
Yeah, it is on
then
Netflix.
I definitely don't think I'm going to watch the Andrew Scott, and that one's like a I don't know if I'm going to see that one.
This
I might watch it. I don't know. I mean, maybe Andrew Scott's a good actor. Look, he is a good actor. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know if I'm going to watch it because of the subject matter. But so that one,
Oh,
I
man.
honest, I honestly don't know on that
Golden Globe's
category.
so gay.
Right. Well, I mean, Hollywood's okay. Um, I would love to see Cillian Murphy. It like it's
Killian.
one Killian, sorry. It's one of those things where it's like for his career. Like honor
Yeah.
him for his whole career because dude has been acting since he was super young. So this would be like one of those finally he's done a role where we can nominate him as a best actor for something instead because usually he's just like maybe the co-star, unless it's like a smaller indie film or
Yeah.
something. He's usually just a co-star in a big ensemble cast. So it's cool to see him getting some love. I really would love to see him win.
Yeah.
I'm still predicting it's Oppenheimer's year, but that's not saying that I mean, look, Hollywood's Hollywood. that they love when um gay actors are portrayed and stuff. I mean, so we'll see. I mean,
That's
Rustin
true.
could Coleman Domingo, I've heard's really good in that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama: Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon; Carey Mulligan, Maestro; Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall; Annette Bening, Naiad; Greta Lee, Past Lives; Kaylee Spaney, I don't know if that's how you say her name, Priscilla.
Yeah. I think that category more than any of the other ones is wide open. I think
Yeah,
that
I do
is
too. I mean,
totally wide open.
Lily Gladstone was good. She was laying in bed for
Right.
80% of that movie,
And
but
I never really thought about that until I think David said something
yeah,
about
either
that,
it was
and
either David or Dr. Earl. Yeah,
yeah, it was either David or Dr. Village. She's just like, she's good in it though,
yeah,
and I wouldn't mind her winning,
yeah,
but I haven't seen Naiad. It would be nice to see Annette Bening win.
yeah.
I can't remember if she's won an Oscar. I don't think she has.
I
Maybe
would
she has.
I would like a little bit of praise for pronouncing that umlaut in Sandra Hüller's name.
Dude,
HU with an umlaut at top
I
of the
got
U,
nothing for you because I
LLER.
don't know that you pronounced it
Mhm.
right.
Oh,
So
I
I got
did.
nothing for you.
You pronounce an umlaut like it's pretty much like putting an E after the vowel, so
All
it's
right, that's
Hüller.
fair.
Mhm.
Again, that I've heard
It's like
that
8 years of German right there.
I've heard that lady's performance is fantastic, so maybe she comes in and steals it from Lily Gladstone. I mean, the front runner I think is Lily Gladstone, but I still think that that's a pretty wide open category.
Yeah. Actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy.
Mhm.
This movie I have no interest in seeing. Fantasia Barrino, The Color Purple; Jennifer
No, I don't.
Lawrence, No Hard Feelings; Natalie Portman, May December; Alma. Oh man, we got a Y after this umlaut.
Yes.
Puisti, Fallen Leaves; Alma Puisti,
Right,
Puisti,
right.
Fallen Leaves; Margot Robbie, Barbie; Emma Stone, Poor Things.
I think everybody's probably got their money on Margot Robbie, but I've heard Emma's great
Yeah,
in Poor Things. So, what's up, Garrison? We're talking Golden
um,
Globe nominations
we
because I
are.
mean, the Bass Reeves episode was 32 minutes long, of which 20 minutes of was like flashbacks. So we've moved on to Golden Globes.
Yeah. Actor, musical or comedy: Nicolas Cage, Dream Scenario; Timothy Chalamet, Ding Dong, Wonka; Matt Damon, Air; Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers; Joaquin Phoenix, Beau is Afraid; Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. Boy, oh boy, Beau is Afraid. That's a movie that I never want to touch.
Dude, that movie was so strange. That was the weirdest freaking movie I've seen this year, probably. So I want to say that that's kind of wide open. Also, I would love to see Giamatti get it for the holdovers because he's
Yeah,
fantastic in that. Uh, I don't know. That's a tough category right there. Chalamet's not going to win for Wonka. He's
I heard it sucks, and like
well, no,
I heard he's good. It looks pretty. I heard the story is
uh,
just boring as crap.
that's too bad.
That's
I
only
like
from one review. That's only from one person.
Yeah, I like Paul King as a director. I mean, those Paddington movies are really great.
Fantastic.
I love them, man. And so
Tears.
I root for him
Yeah.
as a director, but that's a tough IP to crack. I mean, even the Johnny Depp one wasn't that great. I mean,
No, the Johnny
people
Depp
like
one stunk too.
I have found out that people like that movie. There's like people that stand for the Johnny Depp version of
They
Willy
gotta be
Wonka.
younger than me, right?
Yeah, they're probably
Okay.
younger, but I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I would love to see that one go to Giamatti. Who else was in that?
Jeffrey Wright,
I've heard he's
American
great, and
Fiction.
I've heard that's another really great. So I would not be mad if Jeffrey Wright won for
Yeah,
American Fiction. I need to, yeah. See, I'm not crazy. Garrison, even the Johnny Depp thing, I
yeah,
don't get it. It's weird, but anyways, yeah. So I would love Giamatti to win it. I wouldn't be mad if Jeffrey Wright won it though, because I've heard he's really good in American Fiction. So.
okay. Supporting actor, motion picture: Willem Dafoe, Poor Things; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; RDJ Oppenheimer; Ryan Gosling, Barbie; Charles Melton, May December; Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things.
Dude, I love RDJ. I'm telling you, I'd love to see him win that, but Gosling might be locked in on that one for the Globes.
Yeah,
Gosling's not
yeah.
I hope to God that Gosling doesn't get nominated for an Oscar for that, because that would almost make me not like the movie if he got nominated for an Oscar
Hmm.
for Best Supporting Actor. You can't do that. You can't.
Why?
It's
Yes, you can.
no, look,
Comedies no. I completely disagree with this.
it's
Comedies
not,
just get the absolute shaft at the Oscars, and it's messed up.
dude. I have said for years, Melissa McCarthy should have never been nominated for Bridesmaids. She crapped in a sink in that movie. And I was
Well, I don't disagree with that, but there's like Ryan Gosling was fantastic in it, and he didn't have to crap in
he
a
was
sink.
good, but see, I'm worried that if he gets nominated for that, then I don't want to see RDJ lose to freaking Ken in Barbie.
Hot take. RDJ was fine
Oh,
in
he was
Oppenheimer.
good in that.
He was fine. He wasn't bad. He was
Yeah. But look,
fine.
another one I would not be mad about is Defoe. He's never freaking won.
Mm,
And that dude deserves an Oscar
yeah.
more than anybody in that list, probably. Now, I don't know
I
if
don't like Mark Ruffalo, so I don't want him to win, even though I've
yeah,
never seen
yeah,
Poor
he
Things.
won't win anyway, so it's fine. But I would love to see Defoe get an Oscar finally if he's that good in Poor Things, which I've heard it's a great movie. I mean, like I said, I haven't had a time to see it. Yeah, Andrew. I mean, I'm not going to have a heart attack about it, but I I get the whole Barbie thing. I get it. Everybody's so hyped on Barbie. I loved it too.
What I really want to happen is for the patriarchy to succeed and for Ryan Gosling to be the only one that wins an Oscar for Barbie.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, wait. What does this mean? Miss me with Poor Things,
He doesn't want to watch it. He's out on Poor Things.
dude. Garrison, what are you talking about? It's Yorgos Lanthimos. Come on. What are you? Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, go ahead. What we got?
Finally, Best Supporting Actress,
Yeah,
Motion Picture, Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple, no thank you, Jodie Foster, Naiad, Julianne Moore, May December, Rosamund Pike, Saltburn, Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers.
Divine Joy Randolph, 100%. Give her the Globe and the Oscar. Over, but Emily Blunt does nothing for me in Oppenheimer. She's
Look,
fine in
I
it, but she
love
doesn't.
Emily Blunt. I love
I
her
do
as a
too.
person. I
I do
love her
too.
like
Yeah.
she was good in Oppenheimer, not an Oscar-worthy performance.
She, if there was ever a movie that she deserved an award for, it was Sicario.
Yeah.
She owned the screen in Sicario, and so they passed her up though.
Mhm.
And so now it's like Amy, what's her face? Amy, oh crap, what's her last name? I just blanked on her last name. Oh my gosh. Anyways, she was in the Superman movies. What's her last name?
Wait.
Help me out here.
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams. I don't know. They've passed her over so many times. She's been nominated a lot, but they've
Yeah.
passed her over so many times. It's going to be tough for her to ever get in there now. And I feel like the same with Emily Blunt. Like maybe they were going to give her the nomination, but she should not beat Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers.
Okay.
That woman owned that performance in that. She had the typical Oscar moment and Globe moment. So yeah, give that to her over any of those. Now, apparently, I need to watch this Naiad movie, but in
Mhm.
all honesty, I don't care about an old woman swimming across the English Channel or whatever the crap that's about. I
Yeah.
mean, I just I don't know.
Miss Me
I'm
with Britain.
I like Annette Bening. I like Jodie Foster, but yeah, their time has passed.
Um,
That's horrible to say.
yeah.
I should never say that, but I mean, it is kind of the truth.
The I think since this is the TV wing of the Deucecast, we should just talk
Okay.
about the two best television series drama and best
Okay.
television
That's
series
fair.
musical drama,
That's fair.
or musical or comedy.
Yeah.
Best television series drama: 1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, The Morning Show, and Succession.
I mean,
It has to be Succession.
they'll give it to
It
Succession.
has to be. Succession's the best show since Game of Thrones, hands
That
down, in my
that
opinion.
show is legit, and I think they stuck the landing, whereas Game of
Yes.
Thrones didn't.
Yes.
To a lot of people, and I kind of agree that they didn't. But I mean, I think Succession stuck the landing. It's a travesty that the guy that played Greg did not get nominated this year, but I mean, every other
Mhm,
actor in that show got nominated this year except for him.
mhm.
And he's probably by far my favorite character.
Look,
No,
The
Andrew.
Last of Us was a fine show. It was a fine show,
Yeah,
but it's just not on the level of Succession. Like, Succession, the people that don't like Succession, I question their taste in everything. Tate
yeah, me too.
Tate couldn't get into Succession. He watched,
Oh,
like, 2
dude,
episodes, and I'm like,
it's so good.
"Dude,"
It's good.
like, I just feel like especially like, I feel like that was right up Tate's alley. Like,
It's next level.
and I
It's
will
so good.
say that I watched the first couple episodes of Succession, like, maybe a year after the first season, and I was
Mhm.
like, "I don't really get it." Maybe I even just watched the first episode, and I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna come back to that," and then the hype train just kept rolling, and I finally watched it, and I agree with The Last of Us is overrated.
Garrison's got some takes tonight, man.
He does.
Um,
Um, the
so
morning show, get the morning show outta here.
that's so
That can't be a good show.
it's not. It's just liberal crap.
Yeah.
But anyways, so here's the deal with The Last of Us. Show me a second season that's as good as the first season, and I'll get on board with it being legit. But you can't let it win over Succession. Its
No.
first season was not as good as the final season of Succession.
From what I've heard about the second video game, and that's like the first
Yeah, I
season
don't.
was the first video game, like, I think the second season's gonna
I think it will too. In all honesty,
suck,
I,
I'll just leave it at
yeah,
that.
I like Kate. I like Kate. I like Caitlin Deaver. She's a good addition to the show, but again, like I'm with you. It sounds like the plot line is gonna suck. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
I
we'll
mean,
see.
yeah,
We'll
it's
see.
such a
We'll
mistake
see what they do. I
to
mean,
do
we'll
it.
see what they do with it. But I don't know. All right,
Never
go.
seen The Diplomat. I've watched,
I
like,
don't know
the
anything about it.
first 3 quarters season of The Crown, season 1, and that show is
So
very, very good, but each
yeah,
episode feels like it's 3 hours long. It's so British, it hurts my teeth.
for most people, from what I understand, once they got to the Charles and Diana stuff, the quality dipped a bit.
Really? Okay.
Now again, I love Elizabeth Debicki.
Mhm,
I almost wanted to watch this season just
mhm.
because she was Diana. Um, but I've just heard it's not as good as like the first and the second
Okay.
season were. So,
Yeah. Finally, best television series, musical or comedy, The Bear, need to see it.
mhm.
Ted Lasso, I heard this last season sucked. Abbott Elementary, never seen it, but network
I've heard good.
TV
I've
still
heard good
being on
things.
there.
I've heard it's a good thing though.
I've
It's
heard
good.
it's very good too.
Yeah.
Jury Duty from Freevee,
Okay, so I heard that's crazy good too,
I
though.
have too.
Yeah.
That's like a is there one person that's not an actor, like, that isn't in on
Something
it? Something
like
like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, right? James Marsden
Um,
got nominated for that show.
wow. Okay, I need to watch it then.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the Building, I have not watched
3rd
it.
season was not as good as the previous.
Okay. Barry is a show that I watched what was it? How many seasons was there of Barry? Um,
4? 4,
4. So the
maybe?
first 2 seasons was, like,
Fantastic.
fantastic TV.
I don't think they stuck the landing, in my opinion, on that series. I
I
think
got
that
about 3 episodes into season 3, and I called it quits.
I really think they lost their way with that show, and I don't feel like they stuck that landing well, but
Yeah.
that's just my opinion on that, but
1 and 2 was, like, the
great.
best dark
So good.
comedy I've
I
ever
agree.
seen.
Totally agree.
Like, just impeccable
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, Death of Stalin, good.
Yeah. No, I love Death of Stalin. That's a good movie.
I bet you the Bear wins this.
Yeah, I'm feeling well, Ted Lasso's last season, they may honor it just because it's the
Yeah,
last season
I
of the
guess.
show,
I
but
heard it
I
was
mean,
really, really bad, though.
I don't know. I'm
Like,
glad that I never bothered with that show.
SJW PSA is bad, like, is what it
Yeah,
turned
that's
into.
what I heard too, but I mean, I'm glad I never bothered with
Yeah,
that show. It was just 'cause it would have disappointed me to like that first season so much and then for the quality to dip in the 2nd and
yeah,
3rd season. And it's like these shows can't help themselves.
yeah.
They 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 want to just like put forth their agenda
Mhm.
too much, where it
Mhm.
hurts the quality of the
Mhm.
show. So
I
just
should say, as my British friend Alex says, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Just
He
make the
he
show.
called me out of the blue one day. He goes, "Hey, have you seen Ted Lasso? Where's it streaming?" I was like, "What the hell did you just say to me?" He's like, "Ted Lasso." I was like, "Ted Lasso?" He's like, "No, Ted Lasso, but yeah." I was like, "Oh, that's an Apple TV Plus." He's like, "Gee willikers," or whatever British people say. I don't have that. And then he went to buy it, and he got Apple TV Plus.
Just stop with these agenda shows. Just make
Yes.
like I heard The Bear has no agenda whatsoever. It's just a freaking good show. So just an Abbott Elementary probably has an agenda, but I've still heard it's a good
Mhm.
show. I mean, but I don't know. Just knock it off with the agenda
Yeah.
shows. It's just whatever. Just make everything. Just make something everybody likes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, appointment television. I miss
Yeah.
that whole thing. All right. Well, I think we did enough. I think we've
Yep.
done what we can. We will definitely be back next week for the what I anticipate to actually be a really good finale for Bass Reeves.
Mhm.
They've at least gotten to the point where a lot of stuff's got to happen in this last episode. So I think that it'll be really good. So in that case, Jacob, what do you guys got next on Good Day for a Movie podcast?
Well, our last episode was The Way Back.
Yeah.
Came out late last night.
Yep.
Um, I think we've actually been in a little bit of a groove here, not to toot my own horn, but the
Yeah.
last like 5 or 6 episodes, like, yeah, I've been surprised with all 3 of us, including myself, that like I'm like, "Oh, we're actually like having like semi-meaningful conversations
Yeah. They've
and
been
like
good.
kind of good analysis." And sometimes we don't. But that those semi coherent conversations continue next week with The Boy and the Heron, a 2023 movie, but Tate's pick.
That's kind of cool.
Hayao Miyazaki's latest movie. Tate and Sage, both big Hayao Miyazaki fans. Um, yeah, and then our at the end of that episode, stay tuned. The Christmas special is revealed.
Nice. I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to finding
Hmm.
out what movie you chose. I always push the movie that I put
Yeah,
on
look,
X,
I made
and
a
it's
comment
okay.
about the movie, and you may be mad at me
It's okay.
when you hear
It's
it,
it's
and I
it's okay.
apologize right now.
No, that movie
I
is not for everybody. That Christmas movie
it's
is not for everybody. But
look,
I mean,
so we did a wheel, and
okay.
I included it on the wheel.
Oh,
I
good.
may or may not have said,
Oh
"This
god.
needs to be included on the wheel because we need to have
Okay. Okay.
something negative on here,
Oh wow. What were you guys
some
looking for?
sort of
Like,
punishment." It
okay.
can't be all good movies,
What if you love
or
it? Have
all
you seen it?
potentially I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. Oh, you've
I
seen it.
so I
Okay.
I did not dislike the movie at all. I think it's a wonderful,
It's a sweet
fun
little film.
kids family
Yeah,
movie.
it's a good
Like,
family movie.
not bad by any means. I gave it a 63. Um,
Okay.
Tate and
That's right.
Sage, I think, may have
They probably would hate it. They seen
quit
it
the
too?
podcast. No, they have not.
They've not
They'd
seen it.
never heard of it.
They've probably if you don't grow up with Ernest. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I spoiled what the movie is. If you don't
If
grow
you
up with
didn't know
that
what we were talking
character,
about.
yeah, if you didn't grow up with that particular character, there's no way that you're gonna like that movie. I mean, it's impossible to like
Yeah,
that
and
movie
that's
if you
the
go in
first and
blind.
only Ernest thing I've ever seen.
Well,
But I
you're
like
you're
I
missing out, but
there's quality in that for sure, and I think that's
sure.
some great
Yeah.
family entertainment for sure.
Right on. Right on. Okay, good. Well, I'm
Ross in
excited to find
Wyoming,
out what
everywhere
movie.
else.
Yes,
A Good Day
yes.
for the Movie Podcast is the name of the podcast. Maybe a new podcast coming soon. I just got to figure out this whole dang logo
Oh
situation.
yeah, I forgot you mentioned that. That'd be
Hmm.
cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm.
Well, I am at the Michael Nip on X, at the Deucecast on X, of course. We, like I said, we have been recording a movie podcast for like the last. See, sorry. I mean, yeah. Andrew's like, this kid's 18. Of course, he doesn't know who Ernest is. It's a character, and just look it up. Ernest P. Worrell. Just look Jim Varney. Just look it up, Andrew. Anyways, we've been recording a movie podcast for like 15 years. We have a lot of fun with it. We are in the midst of all of our Christmas episodes. Jennifer Kaufman, who has been doing Christmas episodes with us for many years now, is back. We do top 5 Santas.
I
Ernest may,
love that.
Ernest may come up again.
What? Ernest comes up on a Christmas episode on the Deucecast?
I know. I
Unheard
mean,
of.
you might be
Unheard of.
surprised, but Ernest does come up. But yeah, there are enough Santas that we mentioned
Mhm,
quite a few of them. There's some overlap, of course,
mhm.
but it's still a really fun episode. We play a game that we haven't played in a long time at the beginning of the episode, so that'll drop Wednesday morning as it does every Wednesday. Um, if you are watching this late and you have some comments on Bass Reeves, throw some comments in there. Or like if you have some comments about who you think is going to win the Globes, throw some comments in there, and I'll do my best to respond to those. Of course, like the episode, that helps the algorithm. If you're not subscribing, please just give us a subscription. You don't even have to I'm not even going to ask you to hit the bell. You don't even have to hit the
I
bell.
will ring that bell.
All right, fine. Ring the bell. That'll give you the
Do it.
notifications of when we go live. But I mean, or when an episode drops or whatever. But I mean, look. I mean, I just want like a subscription. Just give us. I think
Mhm.
we got one.
It's free.
It is free.
It's
Yeah.
free.
We're not. Look, we're not trying to monetize this thing. I mean, I don't even think we can. I mean, there's no way we're ever going to get to. I think you have to
No,
get
we're
to like
going to.
100,000.
Yeah, something like that, but we're on
It's
our way.
ridiculous.
We're on our way. The only
Yeah,
way to eat an
I'll
elephant
be
is one bite at a time, Michael.
I'll be 6 feet under before we ever get that.
Would you like to hear my Santa Claus hot take?
Please. Who's your favorite Santa Claus in film?
Maybe this.
Okay,
Richard
go ahead.
Attenborough over Edmund Gwynn.
That's not a hot take, as you'll
Not
hear
a hot take.
as you'll hear on the Deucecast.
Really interesting. Okay, I thought that was going to be more of a hot take.
I get real mad. I get real mad at this on that episode.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm
I
very
don't like
excited.
that. I don't like that take at all. I think that's a bad take.
So it is a hot take. Okay.
Well, it
In
is
your
a hot.
books, at least. But it's not a solo hot take. Somebody
No, it's
else.
not a soul. Yeah, no.
I think I have a guess on who also shares that.
No, I'm surprised. No, you'd be
Oh.
surprised. You'd be
Oh, wow,
surprised.
okay.
I was surprised, and it made me upset. But
Yeah.
because it's a wrong take. It might be a hot take, but it's a wrong take.
I'd have to ask it. I'd have to think hard about my favorite Santa Claus. I'd have to do some research.
Well, the correct answer is whatever. We don't have to go through that. We don't. You'll just have to listen to the episode.
Yeah.
Just listen to the episode.
It's a tease.
It's a tease. Yeah, that's a tease. Just listen to the episode. Appreciate everybody that hung out this evening in the live chat. We had Andrew. We had Garrison. We even had Rhett. Rhett graced us with his presence
Uncle
for
Brian.
just like a couple minutes. We had Brian. So as always, I really appreciate you guys hanging out in the live chat. It does make it much more fun for the hosts to see people interacting while they're doing the live show. But a lot of people do watch this on delay. So I would love to see some comments get put in there so I can respond to y'all. Tell me how wrong I am about my Golden Globe takes. But
here we go.
Yes.
YouTube chat. I want you to put in the comments who your favorite Santa Claus is.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
That's what people do. They do a question at the end.
Yeah.
Favorite Santa Claus in the chat.
Yeah, let's do that. Even though that has nothing to do with this particular episode, it has more to do with the Deucecast. I'd love you guys to subscribe to both the Deucecast and A Good Day for a Movie podcast. Those are podcasts that release every week. So yeah, any subscription to that as well. Yeah. So we talk about Santa Claus on Wednesday, and you'll hear some Christmas stuff coming from A Good Day for a Movie podcast also. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week for the finale of Bass Reeves. Hope everybody has a great night.